ช่วงนี้มีการจัดคอร์สนะ
These days there
จัด
are
มาหลายวันนะ
a lot of courses for the
คอร์ส
practice.
มันก็มีข้อดี
There's
มี
been
ข้อ
one
เสีย
for the last few days. There are good and bad things about the courses.
ข้อดีคือบางคนไม่เคยรู้เรื่องเลย
One of the good things about the courses is some of the people that have no idea about the practice, they come and they get to study
เป็นพวก
the way
เรื้อ
of
รัง
practice.
เรียนมานาน
But
ฟัง
then
มานาน
there are people who have practiced a long time and been listening a long time, and sometimes they practice and sometimes they
ไป
don't.
เข้าคอร์สก็คึกคักขึ้นมาทีนึง
They, after a while, their practice dissipates and gets worse, and then so they come to a course every once in a
คอ
while.
ร์สบางทีเรา
It's
ฟัง
good that they do, but it does have its drawbacks. Sometimes if we listen to too many different
ในแง่มุมที่ไม่เหมือนกัน
assistant teachers, they each teach from a different perspective.
มันไม่มีมาตรฐานนะทางใครทางมันถ้าอยู่ในหลักของการ
Each
ทำ
practitioner
กรรมฐานวิปัสสนา
has different aspects to their practice.
แต่พอถึงขั้นวิธีการ
As long as we're practicing samatha and vipassana, then we're practicing according to the correct principles. But when we actually come to practice, there are no two people alike in exactly what they're doing and where their mind is
ให้
at.
เห็นเหมือนกันนะบางคนเรียนกับผู้ช่วยสอนคนหนึ่งไม่รู้เรื่องฟุ้ง
Some people learn with one assistant teacher and really don't understand anything.
ให้มาเดินจงกรม
Luangpu watches them sitting and he can't handle it. Make them do some walking instead.
จิตก็มีกำลังขึ้นมา
But then after they continue to practice day and night,
ผู้ช่วยสอน
their
จิตมีสมาธิ
practice starts to have some strength and momentum to
รี
it.
บเดินปัญญาก็เละเลย
Some people were taught the principle that you have to achieve samadhi first and then
แก้แทบจะไม่ได้เลย
practice developing wisdom. But then they just try to practice wisdom without the samadhi, and
เรี
then
ยน
there are problems and they become very difficult to teach.
ที่ยังไม่ได้รากฐานที่แข็งแรงสับสนเหมือนกัน
Some people, when their roots in the practice are not strong enough,
ที่จริงพ่ออยากให้แต่ละคนมี
there
ส
are
มุดคู่มือนะ
a lot of
จดมา
difficulties.
ผู้ช่วยสอนคนนี้เขาสอนอะไรถ้าเราเอาไปถามคนอื่นนะต้องเอาอันนี้ไปให้เขาดูด้วยเหมือนโรงพยาบาลนะนึกออกไหมที่โรงพยาบาล
Sometimes when I find out what an assistant teacher has taught someone,
แต่เขาต้องรู้
I might suggest some extra things that they need to observe as well. It's sort of like a hospital.
คนนี้ทำอย่างนี้คนนี้ทำอย่างนี้
If the doctor does a good job, then the person gets well. If the doctor doesn't, the person could die. Some people get confused in the practice from learning a bunch of things.
แต่ใครจะเป็นคนเล็ดขอนให้เจ้าตัวเล็ดขอนนะผู้ช่วยสอนอย่างนี้มันก็ไปจดอีกอย่างนึงตีความเพี้ยนตลอดนะว่าธรรมะนะเข้าไปอยู่ในจิตปุถุชนกลายเป็นของปลอมทันทีเลย
When Dhamma is in the heart of non-enlightened people, when Dhamma enters the heart of an unenlightened person, it's not going to be
จุดเล็กๆอะไรเงี้ยจริงไม่ใช่จุดสำคัญ
completely correct.
ไปจดไปจำเอาไว้แล้วบอกเนี่ยหลวงพ่อสอนอย่างนี้
Some people just remember what Luangpu
พ่อ
teaches,
บอกไม่ต้องทำสมาธิ
and then
สอนอย่างนี้
they
ครูบาอาจารย์
tell other people what
เฮ้ย
Luangpu
พ่อสอน
teaches.
ยังไงว่าไม่ให้ทำสมาธิ
And they get it wrong. They often get it wrong.
ไอ้คนนั้น
Some people are doing meditation and then say that Luangpu, hey, don't do that. Luangpu says don't
บอก
meditate.
เนี่ย
But I never said,
อะไรต่อ
he
สู้
says, Luangpu says, I never said don't
มัน
meditate.
ผลได้ด้วยความเพียรนะ
It's just you have to meditate correctly. Sometimes when what you're doing is so incredibly incorrect, the correct practice is to stop for a while. Stop for a while and then start again later. So some people misunderstood and told other teachers that Pramote says, don't meditate. But that's not right. The type of meditation that I'm asking you to do is one that is a very powerful meditation indeed, that creates a powerful samadhi. When you go to courses and everybody in the course is doing exactly the same thing, everybody breathing at the same time, in and out, everybody walking together in the same rhythm. Most temples, most places, that's how they teach everybody exactly the same thing. And it has its advantages. It's good for lazy people to go in there and do that, but the possibility that there'll be real results from doing that are very slim, because everybody is different with a different demeanor and behavior, and so you can't teach everybody the same thing. There'll be a lot of errors when doing that. So when we practice the Dhamma, when we practice, we have to learn the correct principles. Right? So let's make sure that we are moral, that we are good people, that we keep the 5 precepts, and then learn the correct way to meditate and what samadhi is. There are 2 types of samadhi. One type of samadhi is object discrimination or object contemplation, where we're remaining peacefully with one object. That's called object contemplation. The mind is focused on one object, and what do we get from that? We get some happiness, peace, we get some strength, and it gives us an opportunity to feel energized to continue to practice then vipassana. The other type of samadhi, the second type, is the way that's called characteristic contemplation, where we're able to see the truth or true characteristics of mental and physical phenomena. We achieve the mind that is called the Buddha, which is the mind that is awake, knowing and radiant. Luangpa teaches the second type more often than the first type, because most people have a short attention span and aren't able to achieve a powerful meditation called jhana when practicing the first type of samadhi. So what Luangpa teaches is to achieve the observer mind by having a main object like Buddha or the breath, and then when the mind strays, know that the mind has strayed. The mind strays again, know that the mind strays again. The mind will, when the mind goes to think, and then the mindfulness sees the thinking disappears, and the mind becomes the observer, able to see the truth. Then the mind might start to focus or control, and when that happens, mindfulness sees that it might not pass away. It might not pass, because that's a good thing to be focused, and mindfulness doesn't always get rid of good things. So, but if we do see the desire hiding behind the focusing, that's a defilement. And so when mindfulness sees the desire passes or disappears. And then so will, in turn, the controlling or focusing phenomenon.
ถ้าหลงไปเรารู้ทันว่าหลงนะหลงดับ
So if we get lost in thought
ถ้าเพ่งอยู่รู้ว่าเพ่ง
and we know so,
บางทีไม่หาย
we know that or recognize that that's happened, then the observer mind will be achieved.
อยากรู้อยากเห็นอยากเป็นอยาก
But if we start focusing, then we become aware that there's focusing, but it might not pass. So then, why is it that we're focusing? Because there's desire. So if we see the desire, then the desire disappears, and then the mind will be the Buddha again, knowing, awakened, and radiant. So this is how we practice for those that don't practice jhana or are not able to practice jhana. Because if I teach deep meditation like jhana, no one or almost no one will be able to achieve it. When Luangpa was younger and practicing as a layperson, Luangpu Sim in the north would call him Knower. That was his nickname. Luangpu Sim didn't know his real name. He would just call him Knower because his mind was the observer mind. Because he would practice throughout the day, seeing his mind that would stray and go off to thoughts. He would know things as they are and achieve the observer mind a moment at a time. Knowing the mind that's after it strays, knowing the mind after it focuses, knowing the desire. So if we really intend to practice, we need to have the 5 precepts. We need to keep this level of morality. Some monks, the monks have 227 precepts in their discipline, but some of them are even missing the basic 5. That'll never be a successful endeavor. Eventually they'll have to disordain or disrobe from monkhood. In the past, I misunderstood when I went to masters. I thought that all of the meditation masters were great. I thought that they were all good. But after a while, I would start to have a look and see that that's not true, that all masters or those that claim to be masters are good. Some practice dark arts, and some just deceive and fool their disciples that they're great, but they really aren't. So there are some temples, there are some monks out there that don't have the right intentions. So keep remembering to have the 5 precepts of morality. Try to remember when you wake up, after breakfast, after lunch, in the evening. Try to remember any time that you might do something harsh or harmful or wrong. Remember those precepts, because if we break any of the precepts, the quality of our mind is lost. We need to have the wholesome state of being ashamed or fear of doing wrong, or being fearful of the results of doing something harmful. If we are fearful of doing anything wrong or anything immoral, and have the correct shame in doing things that are unwholesome, then we have a very high opportunity, big opportunity to become a deity or an angel in our next life. So after we have this moral basis, then we learn meditation and samadhi. If we're practicing for rest, for calmness, for energy, then we have the mind contemplating an object and remaining with the object in a happy way until there's calmness and peace that arise on their own without forcing. And then there's the other type of samadhi, which is where there is still a main meditative object, but it's just something to notice, not to stay peaceful with. In the first case, the first type of samadhi, the first type of meditation, there is an objective of staying with the object. For example, the breath, just feeling relaxed and enjoying and being with the breath. But in the second type of samadhi, the mind is the main thing, not the object. So we're not directing the mind towards an object in the second type. We just have the object, and then when the mind strays from it, we become aware that the mind has wandered off. As the mind starts to move this way, move that way, and we see that it does. The mind moves out to think, we know so, moves into focus, we know so, and then we keep doing that until we become an expert at it, and it happens automatically. Once there is automatic practice going on, the mind is the stable observer, and there it is so automatically. I practiced incorrectly for a while or I understood incorrectly. When I say I mean Luangpa. I used to practice when I was younger, and I misunderstood because I had the knower mind since I was 7 years old from the meditation that I was doing. And so I thought that the practice was easy. When I learned from Luangpu eventually, the practice was very easy for me to practice because I already had samadhi. The mind was already the observer mind. So it was easy to see the mind that would get lost in thought, or easy to see the mind that would, if something happened and there was anger, easy to see the anger as something that was observed. I thought that everybody that the practice would be easy for everyone. But other people didn't have the observer. I didn't realize that that wasn't a normal state for humanity. So if we believe we have the observer mind, but the heart is heavy, then we don't have it. If there's a weight to the practice, then that's not the observer mind. We have the observer mind just for a moment, and then another moment, and then another moment. We don't hold and make things tight. The true observer mind has no weight, is completely weightless. It doesn't speak, it doesn't contemplate intellectually, doesn't analyze. It just knows and sees things as they actually are. And it has many components. It has a stability to it, which is not being maintained or controlled, and the stability means it doesn't move towards phenomena. Sometimes it knows all kinds of different objects. It might know the mind thinking, it might know the body, movements of the body, it might know feelings. It isn't important what it is it sees, what it observes within the body and mind. But it is the stable observer of all the mental and physical phenomena that it sees. If we don't have this stable observer, then the practice is we're not going to be able to see the truth directly.
มันไหลไปไหนมันไหลไปจ้องจิต
So when there is focusing,
ยังมี
the mind goes
ไหล
right
มาการเคลื่อนที่
towards
ยัง
the
ไม่ได้
object.
เรื่อง
Even if the mind is our object, if we
เรา
are
ต้องฝึกนะทุกวัน
focusing, then the mind moves out towards the mind. It isn't stable as the
5 รอบได้
observer.
ยิ่งดีมุสลิมเขาละหมาดวันละ5 ครั้งเราตั้งใจ
Muslims
วันละ5 ครั้ง
do their prayers
ให้รู้
5 times a day. So why don't we also
ทำในรูป
take
แบบ
5 times a day
ฝึกจิตใจ
to
ให้เราเข้มแข็ง
practice our
ขี้
practice?
เกียจได้ไหมได้ท้อได้ไหมได้
So let's make sure we
ขี้เกียจ
practice every day.
ท้อก็ไม่เลิกนะถึงเวลาต้อง
Can we be lazy? Yes, sure we can be lazy. But even if we're lazy, we'll practice. We're feeling lazy, we still practice.
ฝากคุณแม่ไปคอร์สสอนที่คอร์สนะ
The nun
พวกเก่าๆให้ทำอะไร
went to a course to teach, and she came back and
ทำได้แล้ว
she says, I don't know what to tell them. It's all the same old people. They've heard it all. I'd like to tell them,
ไม่มีทางหรอก
what should I tell them? Walk for 3 hours, do walking meditation for 3 hours a day? And that's what they need to do? But
บางคน
they probably won't do it.
สำนึกนะแล้วใจนี้อ่อนยวบลงไปเลยแต่ใจอ่อนยวบเฉยๆยังไม่ได้คิดสู้
When I just said this teaching just now, a lot of people felt discouraged.
แบ่งเวลาไว้เลย
The mind got discouraged. Some of you saw that the mind got discouraged, but
ตื่นนอนมาเอามันสักชั่วโมงนึง
you didn't feel energy that, okay, I'm going to do this. There was no determination that came afterwards.
1
We
ชั่ว
have
โม
to
งเก็บ5 นาทีได้ชั่วโมงนะกลางคืนภาวนา
we have to practice as much as we can, even during the day. If we practice, say, 5 minutes, if we practice formally for 5 minutes every hour, right? If we're up for 12 hours,
จะข้ามวัฏฏะได้ไง
12 times 5 is already an hour. So we get an extra hour of practice on top of our formal practice if we just do 5 minutes every hour, for example.
ต้องเอาชีวิตเข้าแลก
So we have to practice with all we got if we want the real results.
ถ้าอย่างเรา
Nibbana is on the side of death. If we're still afraid,
ให้โสดาสกทาคาอะไรเงี้ย
if we're still afraid of death or not willing to die for the practice,
ถึงเวลา
then we will never achieve the full
สัง
enlightenment.
เกตตัวเองวันนี้
We still might be able to become a stream enterer, but we won't get to the
สุ
end.
ขอย่างต่อเนื่องวันนี้ฟุ้งซ่านก็พักผ่อนให้จิตไปพักอยู่ในอารมณ์ที่มีควา
So
ม
if
สุข
today or at any time we are having a very busy, restless mind, then take some time, be with the body, be with the breath, breathing out, breathing in. You can breathe out Bud, breathe out Do, like I used to do.
เกิดดับ
Like, or when I feel like I want to rest, I'll use Budo along with the
ถ้า
breath.
ไม่ได้ก็ไหวยิบยับอยู่มันเข้าก็ดูตัวนี้ก็เห็นมันเกิดดับตลอดเวลานะเห็นโอ้ตาเห็นรูปจิตก็ไหวหูได้ยินเสียง
And
จิตก็ไหว
then practice to
จมู
achieve
กได้กลิ่นลิ้น
the observer mind, the second type of
ใจกระทบ
samadhi.
จิตก็ไหวเห็นมันไหว
I would start to see the mind moving in the
บาง
chest,
ทีก็ปรุงชั่วบางทีก็
the mind moving this way, moving that way.
เริ่มมาจากไอ้ที่
The-
ไหว
the mind-
กลางอกนี่แหละ
The origin of all the different defilements and feelings that arise, they all come from
ต้นไม้
the
มัน
they all come from the roots area, right? Just like a tree comes from its roots,
ก็งอก
all the different defilements come from the roots of this sense in the chest where things are moving and shifting.
กิ่งก้านหากินได้ หัวมันก็ยิ่งใหญ่ขึ้นนี่หัวมันยิ่งโตขึ้น แต่ถ้าราคาที่โตสามมันงอกต้นขึ้นมาจาก
If just the beginning
ตัวนี้เป็นอัน
of a feeling is felt or a defilement is felt right at the root,
พอออกใบเล็กๆนะสติเราเห็น
and it's just a small plant starts to sprout, the mindfulness sees it at that part, and that becomes very, very easy to cut. That becomes very, very easy for the defilement when it's still just coming out
for it to disappear. But if we are cultivating it and it becomes a big tree, if we have a defilement and we keep it and it becomes a big tree, it becomes much harder to cut away. Once I submitted homework that I could see the beginnings of the arising of the mind. I saw it myself in my own practice. I saw the origin of the mind. It's right here. All of the wholesome and unwholesome states and phenomena all come from this origination of the mind. I saw that there's a mind, but I also saw that there was a germ or a bacteria or a seed, something that made this mind arise. And that thing is called ignorance. And we keep practicing, and then one day we will be able to eradicate this ignorance. When the Master would teach me, he would teach me just once, and then I would practice non-stop from there. But for us these days, we listen to a Dhamma talk, practice a little bit, and then as soon as the talk is over, we stop practicing. We just want busy ways to be enamored by the world. How can we ever have results if we are still enamored by the world, just going to this and that course and going, oh, I'm good, I went to this course or that course. Well, it's good that you're doing the courses. However, you are building some positive qualities, working toward the perfections, but you're not going to get the real results when you start and stop. So we need to be determined, because this is not a path for the weak. Are we ready? Are we ready to let go of all the fun and exciting things of the world, not be lost in them? I was determined when I was a worker, as a layperson, as soon as work was over, whether it be in the evening, weekends, holiday times, I would just practice. Like December, there are a lot of individual days in the offices, and so I would take my extra holidays I had collected to have a long period, and then I would go to a forest monastery and use my holiday time as time to develop the practice. And I would find places where there were great teachers around, or a great teacher to practice around there. It's hard these days to find a true master of the practice. In those days there were more. Last Saturday or Sunday, a monk came and he knows how to practice. And I asked him, what did he do? He said, I've been walking meditation for 4 years. And sometimes it went well, sometimes it didn't. But I just did it and did it every day, nonstop. He would listen to my teachings, and he would just do his walking, wouldn't think too much, just watch the body walking. The mind is the observer. And then one day, understanding occurred. The mind became awake, aware, and wise. all on its own from the practice.
เป็นวัด
He stayed in Jantaburi
โอ้เขายังปฏิบัติกันเยอะเหรอ
province
ไม่มีท่าน
with a teacher.
พวกพระยังมาถามท่านเลยว่าหลวงตาทำอะไรอ่ะเดินไปเดินมาไม่เห็นทำอะไรสักอย่างไม่วัดก็มาถามนะ
I asked this monk, he says, oh, do a lot of people practice there in Jantaburi province? He says, no, they don't. But in
ถ้า
fact,
เราไปอยู่
this monk was doing his walking meditation so often,
แล้วเรา
and
ไม่มี
others were saying, what are you doing?
เราก็จะ
You
ถูก
know,
ดูดให้
they didn't even do walking.
ทุกวันนี้ไม่รู้จะไปภาวนา
So we have to be truly determined and strong, because wherever we are, there are lots of people not practicing around us.
ไม่รับโยมมีน้อยนะแต่ไม่รับโยม
This teacher is good,
ยากที่จะภาวนา
but he doesn't accept lay students very much. It's very hard to become his student.
พลุงพลังหมายถึงรบรุงรังในใจเรานะวางซะหลวงพ่อก็เป็นคนเมืองเหมือนพวกเราแหละหลวงพ่อเลิกงาน
So
กลับบ้าน
let's, if there's different things that we're attached to that are of the world that are pointless or useless for
ทำงานมาทั้งวันคิดทั้งวัน
our practice, then
หลวง
let's,
พ่อเปลี่ยนอารมณ์
and morality, then let's
ซื้อหนังสือ
consider
การ์ตูนมาอ่าน
dropping them and not wasting our
ซื้อ
time.
การ์ตูนอ่านให้ซื้อการ์ตูนเด็กนะอย่าซื้อการ์ตูนลามกอ่านแล้วสมาธิไม่เกิดหรอกหลวงพ่ออ่าน
When I was a lay person, when I was younger, I would read books for entertainment, nothing, not dirty books or too enticing books. Little light cartoons that would be light and a little bit funny, and they put the mind into a light and comfortable state, and they would support the meditation practice rather than some of the things we do that are a distraction or contradict our practice.
ไม่มีการ์ตูนดูเอาพระมาส่องดูพระอย่างนี้เนื้ออย่างนี้อย่างนี้เวลาจับพระนะหลวงพ่อเป็นมาแต่เด็กจับพระแล้วมันมีความรู้สึกในใจ
Sometimes I became interested for a pastime in amulets and different medallions, collecting different medallions and amulets from different monks. And ever since I was a kid, I would hold them and I'd feel something in my heart that like they had some ability or some power inside them. I could feel a movement or a change in my heart when each time I would hold one in my hand.
ถือแทนเวลาถือมันมีความรู้สึกไม่เหมือนกันนะรู้สึกเองนะ
When I would drop one amulet and be given another one to be held, it would feel nice in my heart sometimes, like, oh, this one feels nice.
ที่เป็นโลหะเนี่ยใจมันจดจ่ออยู่กับเรื่องอย่างนี้นะ
Sometimes even ailments would go away.
เล็กๆตอนนั้นพอทำสมาธิไปเรียนกับท่านพ่อรี7 ขวบทำทุกวัน
When I learned meditation, I learned at 7 years old, and then I did it every day, and my mind was the observer mind. So those of us want to be good practitioners, then we have to be determined. What we should avoid, absolutely the most, is breaking moral precepts. We have to be as strong as possible internally to not do any harm. There was one monk that said in a past life of his, he was a poor man in China. For 3 years, he couldn't find any work. And so people in his neighborhood would go hunting for animals for income or food. And he wouldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Even though he was so poor, he still would not hunt, would not kill
ไป
animals
ขายไปเลี้ยงลูกอะไรนี่ไม่ท
to take care of his
ำถึงขนาดยอมตาย
kids
ยอม
or take to the market to sell. He just wouldn't do it. He sacrificed
รั
everything
กษาศีล
so that he could keep the moral
ถ้า
precepts
คน
and not
เขา
kill.
ภาวนานะเขาจะไม่ยากนะ
Somebody like that, when they come to Dhamma practice, it won't be hard for them. They'll be determined, they'll be strong. So we have to be determined
ตั้ง
and
ใจ
strong.
สู้ตายให้เดี่ยวไว้
We need to make sure we keep that morality. We need to practice our samadhi and meditation every single
มี
day.
เวลาเมื่อไหร่
The more we do each day, the better. Whenever we have time, let's do it. Wake up a little earlier in the morning if you don't have time
ก่อน
and
นอนก็ต้องทำ
do walking meditation or sitting
ทำทุก
meditation.
วันแต่ทำด้วย
Do it every day,
ถ้าขาดสติ
but do it mindfully.
สมาธิ
Whenever we don't have mindfulness, then whatever meditation we're
จึ
doing
งจะมีแรง
or samadhi we have is going to be incorrect.
จิตมันจะได้กำลังรู้เท่า
The
ทัน
mind
จิตเนี่ยจิตจะ
will gain strength and energy. Recognize what goes on in the mind
สุดท้ายการเจริญปัญญา
regularly. And then
การ
comes
ที่จิต
the
เรามีพลังมาก
third aspect of the training after morality and samadhi, which is wisdom
เว
development.
ลาพวกเราฟังหลวงพ่อเทศ
When we have
จะ
samadhi,
มีพลังนะ
the body and
พ่อ
mind
ไม่
will
ได้
have
เข้า
a
มาเทศ
separation
พ่อเทศ
occur.
จิตของหลวงพ่อจริง
There'll be a separation of the aggregates.
ของสมาธินั่นถึงบอก
When I'm talking here,
ปิดมือ
don't
ถือ
take
นะมันกวนสมา
pictures
ธิ
and close
ธรรมะ
your
จะสะดุด เว
phone
ลาพวกเราฟังหลวงพ่อ
because
เทศรับรองไม่เหมือน
the
ที่อื่น
Dhamma
นะ
will not
จะ
come
ฟัง
out,
ที่อื่นหรอกฟังที่เขาหลับบ้างอะไรบ้าง
will not be
ของที่ฟังที่หลวงพ่อไม่ค่อยมีคนหลับนะ
available to us
ผิดปกติจ
because
ริง
we need to have samadhi when we
ๆ
listen
เวลา
and
ที่ฟัง
listen
เทศหลวงพ่อเนี่ย
for
จิตมันจะมี
to
กำลัง
truly understand.
มันจะมีความกล้าหาญขึ้นมา
Minds will have more strength and energy to them when you listen to the Dhamma because the Dhamma that I'm speaking is coming from
รู้สึกไหม
is
ร่างกาย
powerful.
เป็นของถูกรู้
Can we sense that the body is that which is seen or known right now?
เนี่ย
The body is not
กำลัง
us.
พอนะ
If the mind has enough strength, has enough energy to it, and when mindfulness is recognizing the body,
แล้วอย่าเห็นนะร่างกาย
the body will be separate, the aggregates will be separate, and we'll see that the body is not us. The mind that is observing
เกิ
is
ดเวทนาทางกาย
also
เห็นว่าร่างกายก็อันหนึ่งเวทนาทางกายก็อันหนึ่ง
subject to the three
เมื่อ
characteristics.
วานมีผู้หญิงคนหนึ่งผู้หญิงคนที่หลวงพ่อเล่าว่า
Yesterday there was a lady here that was practicing wisdom,
ให้ทำสมาธิ
but she didn't have samadhi yet, and so her practice was really in rough shape.
เขาจะทำยังไงดี
She didn't know what to do. She says she sits and does meditation, and she sits until there's so much pain,
ดูอยู่อย่างนั้นน่ะ
and she observes the pain.
ดูอยู่
Sometimes the pain disappears, sometimes it doesn't. But why am I not
ให้
developing?
ดี
I said,
เวลาเห็น
take a good look.
เห็นความปวด
When
ใน
you
ร่างกาย
see the pain in the body, the mind is moving towards the pain. It isn't the stable observer.
สมาธินั่นแหละ
There isn't correct samadhi, and correct samadhi is the cause for achieving wisdom. So when the mind has sunken down towards the pain,
ทรมาน
there won't be wisdom because the mind is not the stable
โย
observer.
กเฉย
It is slipping into the
ๆก่อ
phenomena.
นที่จะไปเดินปัญญานะจิตต้องตั้งมั่นต้องฝึก
So in order to develop
จิตตั้งมั่น
wisdom,
จริงนะ
the mind has to
กาย
have
เห็นกายไม่ใช่เราแล้ว
the stable
จิต
observer,
รู้เวทนา
not
เวทนาไม่ใช่
the mind
เรา
that's
คิดเลยนะ
moved
เห็นเลยว่าไม่ใช่เรา
towards objects that it
จิตระลึ
observes.
กรู้สังขารเนี่ยเห็นสังขารปรุงดีปรุงชั่วไม่ใช่เราหรอกนะมันจะเรียนรู้พวกนี้นะ
With the observer,
วาง
when formations of mind, wholesome and unwholesome states are seen in the heart,
สุดท้ายมี
they are not us.
จิตเองก็
But if the mind is not the stable observer, we won't be able to see that.
ไม่ได้จิตเกิดดับคือเห็นอนัตตอนิจจัง
If we see the mind arising and
เกิ
falling,
ดที่ไหนนี่คืออนัต
that's
ตา
seeing that the mind is temporary.
เข้ามาถึงตรงนี้แล้ว
We can't choose where the mind will be born into next, in the next
หน้า
moment.
ทั้งหมดไม่ใช่เรา
That's called non-self, that it is not under control.
อยากเป็นพระโสดาบันนั่งทรมานไปเรื่
The
อย
stream enterer
ๆที่เกี่ยวอะไรกับทางที่
is one that knows that whatever arises also falls away. So if we just sit in meditation torturing ourselves in pain, that's not the way of Buddhist practice. That's for other practices, some Hindu practices, or maybe some other spiritual practice, or Jains, where they torture themselves for sacrificing ourselves for God, or these types of things. But for Buddhists, we have to make sure that our practice isn't incorrect, where we're just trying to torture ourselves and hoping it goes away. We have to practice in a way where we are the stable observer in achieving wisdom, not just holding attentions, moving towards an object. So this is for truly courageous people, this path. It's not for the weak. If we want, oh, you need to help me, you need to help me be better, we're not going to get anywhere. And a lot of people just pray to gods, pray to deities, please, may I be rich. Listen, if we don't have the good karma to be rich, then we won't get rich. Most people are slaves to prayer and hoping that things outside of ourselves will help us. Some people play the lottery hoping to be rich, but then they play every single week. If you do the math, you'll see that they end up losing money. Some people win a little bit of money and then they buy another ticket, many tickets. What would be the odds of winning multiple weeks in a row? Right? We're not silly like that as Buddhists. We learn ourselves. We learn and study our own bodies and own mind, and then we're able to become free and liberate and become free from suffering. That's the path. Today I'm giving a lot of inspiration for the people in the course. A lot of people just go to the course, but we need to benefit from the course as well. At least you're taking time away from your lives in some solitude, which is good, but we have to make best use of it. Not just come out of the course and then, okay, let's go have fun now. Just now making some light fun of different types of. Some of us might have some characteristics that are similar to some ghostly beings, so we have to be careful. So are we going to truly benefit from entering a course or a seminar of more intensive practice? That's up to us. Number one, during the day I get lost for long periods of time, and I'm definitely lost in my thoughts and stories. I tend to over-focus when I am in formal practice. I mostly do walking meditation. I use the mantra Metta Kunang Arahanta Metta. I get angry and then I try to teach myself to have more loving kindness by seeing the other people's point of view. Keep practicing and it'll get better. It doesn't always get good fast. It takes time. Let's not be in a rush and just gradually practice, but don't be lazy. Just keep at it and it'll continue to grow and flourish. But if we practice sometimes and then don't practice sometimes, we won't develop. Number one, you still have a very busy mind. So do some peacefulness, some calmness practice. Train in it because your mind's not going to have enough energy otherwise. So you could just do some chanting. Think about the Buddha. Picture the Buddha. Think about the Buddha. Do some chanting. Sometimes when the mind is really busy, it's hard to just come right to meditation and for it to be nice and calm. So instead, sometimes it's, if the mind is busy, then just think about Buddhist qualities or think about Dhamma teachings, and the mind starts to get happy doing that, and it starts to calm down, and then we can meditate. We get some energy, some enthusiasm from thinking about the teachings. And then the mind can get calm from that. But then if we just stay there with the calmness and enjoy it too much, then we might get addicted to the meditation. We have to make sure to make use of it. So you don't have enough calmness or enough samadhi. Mind's too busy. Number 2, can you see that you're over-focusing? It's tight. The mind is tight. I practice every day. Formally, I get annoyed easily, and I really want to be free from suffering. I see the body is suffering a lot. I don't have as good a samadhi as I used to. I was hoping that if I relax, I need to relax more. I'm able to see that I'm over-focusing often. I'm trying to keep moral. How am I doing? You're practicing correctly. Keep going. Just don't be in a rush. Dhamma practice, it's like eating. If you keep eating, you'll get full. You don't have to rush. Just keep eating and you'll get full. Like for a pregnant woman, you don't have to rush to get the baby out, right? You just keep going. It'll come out eventually. Keep practicing. If you're an irritable person, then just know when the anger comes up. Anger is an easy defilement to see. Whatever defilement arises, know that it has. Good for you. But can you see that the mind is not rooted in awareness? It's a little bit outside of yourself. Don't look for it. Don't search. Just take your mind. The mind is out a little bit. And then breathe it in. Have the awareness come into the body. It's just a little tactic, a little trick. Breathe and become aware. Bring it in. Can you see that now the mind is different? That a moment ago it was out? If we're able to see that after a while, we just see that it's out and it'll come in by itself. So your practice is good, but just the mind has to have really needs the stable observer. That was number 2. Number 3, I'm sorry. Yes, so this is number 3's homework. The mind feels heavy, there's a lot of suffering, I feel like I'm not passing the tests and the defilements are still manipulating the mind. Just take a look one step further. When there is suffering that arises, see the mind that doesn't like it. The mind is not neutral or impartial to what arises. If the mind is not impartial, if the mind is impartial, is totally neutral to what it observes, then the suffering disappears. Number 3, you're doing well, but the mind is just not equanimous or impartial to the suffering. It wants the suffering to go away. So when there is suffering, see that there is, recognize that there is disliking. It's humid out here. I kind of have to cough, but I'm going to suppress it because there's too many doctors here. The doctors have nice intentions that they want to help me, but it's too much. Number 4, stop trying to make the mind still. Number 4 says, I use the body every day as my main object, and I try to observe the mind that gets lost in thought. In formal practice, I observe the breath, but I do so with the eyes open because I feel like I get dull. If I close my eyes, I can sense the separation of the aggregates and see the mind is not a self, but the mind comes back to be a self often. Can I have some recommendations? Your main problem is the mind that gets dull and lethargic. So observe the body a lot. The body's moving, sense the body is moving. If you're taking a look at things that are too subtle, your mind is going to get dull and hazy. So observe the body. Find things to do with the body, like wash your clothes by hand, wash the dishes, sweep the floor, and observe the body. Just don't do that when you're driving. I'm worried you're going to get in an accident in case you enter a deep state of meditation while driving, and you'll run over chickens. Number 4, you have a good foundation, but your mind gets too dull and hazy, so use physical movement to help that. Number 5. I practice by seeing the mind move and the mind fabricating stories. I know that I am very involved in sense desire. I love beauty and beautification. I don't believe things easily. I've been punished a lot by believing people or being naive. Don't hold the mind stable. Don't posture. A lot of people who do that, they just can't get rid of it. They can't stop. So don't posture like that. You posture like that because you want to be good, you want to be aware, you don't want to get lost in thought. There's a lot of wanting hiding in there. So try to see all these wantings that arise, and then you won't be making the mind still up there posturing, because then you won't be able to truly have the stable observer. You have to fix that aspect. You do have mindfulness, and you definitely aren't stupid. You just need to fix that one aspect. Number 6. Any day that I don't listen to your teachings, I feel guilty. Guilty? Oh, I thought you said you feel full when you don't listen. Okay. I do Buddha more as a mantra, more than breathing. I'm not really able to develop wisdom practice. I'm not sure really how. I never get discouraged and I keep practicing to offer it up to the Buddha. Am I doing it right? You're doing it completely right. You've made lots of developments. Can you feel that the mind, that the way that it is now, it has changed completely from how it used to be? You're able to separate aggregates and sense that the body and the mind are two different things, that the states of mind that come up just come and go, and they aren't the mind. The mind can fabricate or form joyous states. You see how it's doing that now? Now it's looking for a way to get out of it or trying to maintain the joyful state. That's even more forming and fabricating going on. When the mind is the stable and aware and radiant being, it's the radiant mind like that. The mind is very light and bright. It feels empty and refreshed. And such a beautiful mind. So clear that even if just the smallest little thing that comes up, the smallest formation or fabrication that comes up within that brightness, it is easy to detect. Our job is to not continue to form or fabricate things once that has happened. So for example, when happiness comes up, the mind is just impartial and peaceful, and then a happy state or an unhappy state comes up. Right? When happiness comes up, then we want to try to keep it, or an unhappy state comes up, and we want to get rid of it. So we have to become mindful of the formations that come up without forming anything else intentionally. And some teachers call it the Papatsan mind, which is the beautiful mind, like a clear and bright mind. A bright, comfortable, quiet mind. And then even when there's just the smallest formation or mental state that arises, it's easy to detect. The mind is the stable observer when it just sees these things as they are. This is a very important state, the state of the stable observer, that is the Buddha. It is peaceful within itself. It is light and bright and radiant. It is gentle. It is nimble, and it is not lazy, and it just knows and sees things that arise as they are. This is what we practice to achieve this knower mind. And number 6, you have this beautiful knower mind here. This is great. Can you see that the joy and rapture arise? The mind is just empty, and then something comes in. It's like we're cleaning the table nice and clean in front of us. Even if we have a very clean table and a tiny little ant walks on it, we can see it. But if there's all kinds of things on our table and a tiny little ant goes there, walks along, we won't see it. So if the mind is empty and comfortable, then all the different formations and fabrications that arise are easily detected and disappear. You're a good practitioner. Number 7. Number 7, wake up. The mind is the stable observer, at times all by itself during the day. The body and mind are seen as separate things. Things arise and fall. The mind is light and bright by itself. You can see anger arise and fall as a separate thing from the mind. There's a coolness in all physical, within the physicality. Can I have recommendations? Keep practicing. The mind is still a self. There's only moments where it doesn't feel like there's a self, but it still believes there's a self. You have not washed away the wrong view that there's a self yet. Just keep practicing. Keep accumulating correct practice. And don't pull your mind up too high. You're bringing your mind up. Let the mind be at a normal level. Pulling it up too high, you're going to end up as this godly deity for a very long time. There, now the mind is in the right spot. When you put the mind up high like that, keeping it distant from the defilements, that's no good. The word arahato means, which is a beautiful word, an enlightened being, it means one who is far from defilement. So you're pretending and pulling your mind up far from defilements. That's not the way to be. Just have a normal, ordinary mind and then study the body and study the mind as they are. Good, your practice is good. Just don't pull your mind up high up too high. Number 8. I use walking meditation as my formal practice, and in daily life I move my finger instead of my body walking. I hear my thoughts say, come back to the main object a lot. My mind just seems tight and unnatural now, and it's not coming back to the main object. What do? Just know things as they are. You have wanting that is hiding in the background, that's wanting to interfere and fix things, and it's manipulating the mind. So see that wanting. When the mind is peaceful, know it's peaceful. If it's not peaceful, it's not peaceful. If it's in awareness, know it's in awareness. When it's come out of awareness, know it's out. Don't try to make the mind correct. Just recognize the states that arise. Your weakness, number 8, is you're searching for answers. Searching, you want to have Dhamma in your heart. Just know in a relaxed way, and if it's good, good, and if it isn't good, that's fine. Just know it as it is. If the mind isn't good, that's the mind's business. It's not our business. Be brave. Are you brave enough? Not quite. It's hard to do because you love that mind. You think that mind is you. Can you see the joy and rapture state that arose? That has risen? There are lots of types of piti or joy. That's piti that arose. You just didn't know that's what it was. Can you see the mind is abnormal now? It feels a little strange, not ordinary. Keep practicing. You're doing well so far. You're on the right path. Keep practicing. Whatever isn't correct, you just notice it. Learn it. Don't try to enlighten too fast. Don't try to be too good. Don't want to be good. Can you hear the rooster crowing? The rooster saying, that's enough. It's time to go home. The rooster saying, everybody can leave now.